Diane Whitfield paid off her house in 1998. No mortgage, no debt, just a small brick colonial in Westerville, Ohio, sitting free and clear. So, when she finally sold it last year, she figured every dollar was hers. She was wrong, and the number on that tax bill nearly knocked her out of her chair. Here's the thing nobody tells you before you sign the papers. The IRS doesn't tax what you sell your house for. It taxes something else, something most homeowners have never even heard of. And if you don't understand it before you sell, it can cost you tens of thousands of dollars you didn't know you were risking. Diane and her husband Mark bought that house together back in 1986 for $52,000. Over the years, they put in a new roof, a kitchen remodel, a finished basement, somewhere around $38,000 in real improvements, all together. That brings what's called their basis to about $90,000. Basis just means what you paid plus what you genuinely put into the place. And it matters more than almost anything else in this story, because the tax isn't on the sale price. It's on the gain, sale price, minus basis. When Mark passed away, Diane grieved. She wasn't thinking about tax law. She was thinking about how to get through the next morning. 3 years later, she was finally ready to sell. The house had climbed to $580,000. Do the math, and the gain was close to $490,000. That's the number the IRS actually looks at, not the price on the sale contract, the gain underneath it. Now, here's where most married couples never feel any of this pain. If you're married and you sell your home together, you can exclude up to $500,000 of gain, completely tax-free. If Mark had still been alive, their whole gain would have disappeared under that exclusion. Zero tax. Nobody would even think twice. But Diane wasn't selling as a married couple anymore. She was selling alone. And when you're single, that exclusion isn't $500,000. It's $250,000. Half of the protection, gone. At the exact moment she had the least energy left to plan around it. So picture it. A gain of about $490,000. An exclusion of only $250,000. That left roughly $240,000 sitting out in the open, fully exposed to capital gains tax. And here's the part that really stings. There actually was a way to protect the full $500,000 exclusion, even as a widow. If Diane had sold within 2 years of Mark's death and hadn't remarried, she could have kept the larger, married-level exclusion. 2 years. That's the whole window. Nobody calls to remind you. Nobody puts it on a calendar. It just quietly closes, while you're learning how to live alone again. Diane sold in year 3. She missed it by 12 months. But this isn't just a story about what Diane lost. It's also about the rule that saved her from losing even more. It's called the step-up in basis, and almost nobody has heard of it until they need it. When Mark died, his half of the house got revalued for tax purposes. Not at what they paid for it in 1986, at what it was worth on the day he passed. The house was worth about $340,000 that day. His half of it reset to roughly $170,000. Add that to her original half of the old basis, and Diane's new basis climbed from $90,000 to something closer to $215,000. That single adjustment shrank her taxable gain by well over $100,000, before the exclusion was even applied. Without the step-up, she might have owed tax on nearly the full difference between $52,000 and $580,000. With it, her real exposure came down to a fraction of that. In some states, the ones with community property rules, that step-up can apply to the entire house, not just the deceased spouse's half. In those states, a surviving spouse selling soon after can sometimes owe almost nothing at all. Diane didn't live in one of those states, but the partial step-up still saved her more money than anything else in this entire story. She just wishes someone had explained it to her before the sale, instead of after the bill arrived. So here's what actually matters. If you're standing anywhere near where Diane stood, keep every receipt for every real improvement to your home. That roof, that kitchen, that furnace. Every one of them raises your basis and shrinks your future tax bill. If you're married, know that the day one spouse passes, your exclusion is cut in half, and a 2-year clock quietly starts running. If a sale is likely, that timeline is worth knowing while you still have a choice. Ask specifically about the step up in basis and how it applies in your state. It's one of the most valuable, least explained rules in the entire tax code, and it can erase a huge share of what you'd otherwise owe. And before you ever sign anything, talk to a real tax professional. Not after the sale, before it. One honest hour with someone who understands these rules can be worth far more than the fee they charge you. Diane still says selling that house was the right decision. She just wishes she'd made it with her eyes open, instead of finding out the hard way. If you know someone sitting in a paid-off home right now, especially someone who's lost a spouse, or is starting to think about downsizing, send them this. It might save them the exact bill Diane never saw coming. Want to understand how money really works before life forces you to learn it the hard way? Subscribe to Money IQ Pro for simple, honest videos about taxes, homes, and building real financial security. This video is for general education only, not personal tax or legal advice. Rules vary by state and by situation, so confirm the details with a qualified tax professional before you sell.